I don't know how many weeks we've been doing this, but we're back. What is this
We're
episode like?
back.
What is this like episode 19
This is episode 18, in fact,
of Vampire Diaries?
of Vampire Diaries. Yes, sorry.
Episode
This is
19 of this.
yes, correct. I forgot about Twilight.
I
I
like to
like to
forget
do
about
that.
Twilight too.
Exactly.
Ah,
Hello, everyone. Welcome to These Hot Idiots, episode 19. Ash and
he's
Mega,
he's mega.
and he's Ash.
I'm still getting over a cold, sorry.
He's getting over a cold. You've been doing all right from the
Yeah,
sounds of it.
just sometimes I'll get just like a giant mass of boogers. And then I
Ah,
have to
that's
like
always
get rid
fun.
of them as discreetly as possible.
Yeah, just blast them right out of your nose.
This
It's great.
episode was less action heavy, but it was just kind of weird, honestly.
It was kind of weird. It started out a bit slow, and then just some insanity happened. Some like not the like everything gets action packed, but it's just like a lot of shit. A
A lot
lot of
of
shit happened.
contrived shit, honestly.
A lot of contrived shit. Yeah.
So we start episode 18 under control, and Stefan's doing exercise
Doing
because
pull ups and sit ups.
he's doing pull-ups and push-ups and sit-ups because he's on the come down from the blood
Oh
that he
no, just
drank.
push ups. You're right. You didn't do any sit ups, just the push ups
And he's
and the pull
playing
ups.
butt rock as loud as possible, and David's just like, "What is this shit? Can you please turn it down?" And he's like chiding. He's like chiding Stefan almost. It's like, it's you can drink a little blood. Come on, man, it's no big deal. Like, I've known you for 100 years,
Relax.
and this has never gone wrong before. Come on, man, moderation, dude.
Moderation's real good for you. And he's like waving a glass of blood around the whole time.
And then he looks at the blood, and he's like, But he's like,
And
no, I
also
can't.
just gonna be a little weird here, but I gotta say it. Stefan's hotter than Edward.
Dude, he's fucking buff this episode. I don't know what
he's
happened.
he's super buff.
I
Like
don't know what he did in like the fucking 3 weeks since I last saw him shirtless.
right,
He's
like Paul Wesley apparently just kind of hit the gym. I guess when you do have to do most of the stunt work yourself, maybe I don't know if he does a lot of stunt work
well, a
himself,
lot
or
of
at
the
least
stunt work is like speed, zoomy
yeah,
speed, like in
yeah. I
sped up
don't know.
mode. Yeah, Damon
Maybe
leaves a cup of
maybe.
blood and then he comes back and get it. And it's like, haha, oops.
Oh no, and it's like Stefan's being tempted here.
Jenna is seeing off Elena because I think she's going to school, and she mentions that her uncle John is showing up. And who the fuck is John? And then they open the door, and Uncle John's there, and uh, he's kind of like a tall guy with fairish hair and a receding hairline.
That's spiked up
He
slightly.
looks vaguely like Neil Patrick Harris. And
A
you want to know
bit,
something very interesting?
but
The actor is currently 41.
currently 41.
So
Wait,
when he was on the show, he was in his mid to late 20s.
he was a fucking. Was,
That
that means he
hairline
would have
went
been
to
like what?
that hairline went to shit.
But that's crazy because like Nina Dobrev is like 19 right now,
Well,
or 19 in the show.
I'm
Sorry,
an uncle to like people that are already in their 20s. So it's not
but
the
no, it's more the fact that he was like what in his 20s, you'd say 27,
well, yeah, I would say he would probably be 26 or 27 in this
26,
episode.
27, and Nina Dobrev was like 19.
So
It's
yeah, just Uncle John, and John
Uncle
just talks
John.
about like how's Jeremy doing, and he talks about how he doesn't want Jeremy and Elena to get the Gilbert family office because technically he still has the estate after his brother died, who is Elena's father, I believe. I think that's their relation because John admits to like having sex with Jenna.
So John is Elena's dad's brother.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
think
cause
Jenna's Elena's mom's sister.
yeah, cause she's Jenna Summers and he's John Gilbert. And
Okay.
I guess yeah, at some point they may have fucked, or maybe that was a joke. But
They
but he
I
admits
don't
that in front
know.
of Jeremy. It's weird.
He said it in front of Jeremy and it's weird. At school, Elena talks to Matt about how they just sort of had Vicky's fucking wake off screen.
They had the service for Vicky off screen.
They just had her service off screen and didn't even like talk about it or anything.
That's fucking that's
Jeremy's
weird.
sulking and like he turns down some Derg from Tyler because he's just big sad. And he's like,
Tyler offers him a spliff, but he's like, "Nah, man, I'm about that. I'm about that Tylenol.
all about,
That's my
I'm all about that Excedrin. Also, why did they
I'm about that extended.
why was Vicky buried alive if she overdosed? That's weird.
Yeah, wait, alive?
Why was she buried dead, not alive?
Yeah. It's like, why was Vicky buried by some guy? Why was she just buried out in the woods? And it's like,
Why-
well, she probably died in the woods because of an overdose, man. And it's like,
Yeah, but
yeah,
then
why
like
was she buried?
who buried her? And it's like maybe they freaked out and just sort of buried her body. You don't know, man.
Yeah,
he's
maybe
like,
she found something.
That's weird.
That's weird.
So Damon sort of sneaks on to the to like a open council meeting with Sheriff Forbes and John's there.
Yeah, because he's a founder.
Yeah,
because the Gilberts are founders.
He's a Gilbert, and they're talking about like, oh, we track the blood banks and stuff to here within like a 50, 75-mile radius, so we know that like there are still vampires around. And Damon just does the side eye. Elena like goes to talk to Alaric Saltzman about Jeremy and him acting weird, and just talking about like, oh, he might be, he might be onto the vampire thing because like, look at this essay he made. It's about vampires, and she's like, he doesn't know about vampires. What are you talking about? Like, I've been trying to keep this from him.
He's trying to protect him from it, and it's like, man, you suck at that, Elena.
You're not doing a good job.
You are not doing a good job at all.
No. And then they have to get ready for yet another founders party.
Another one, and I went back. It was I spent a good chunk of time looking through the wiki, and it was like it was episode 4 where we had another founders party.
This one is the city's Founders Day kickoff party, and the other one was the Founders Party
and Heritage Display.
You're just making excuses to drink. I don't.
That's really it. It's the excuses to drink party.
Like, why are these parties the fucking same?
How long has it been since the last Founders Party?
I don't know. How long has it been in the story? Like, are we in like real time? Because if then, it's been like 3 months maybe.
Let's see. Founders Party and Heritage. Founders Party and
would that be like
Display,
October?
September 24th, 2009 for the first one, and this is January 30th, 2010. Is that the air date of the episode, or is that?
I don't know.
No. Okay, so no, that isn't the air date of the episode. So yeah, this is September, the first episode 4 was in September, and this episode is set in January. We skipped Christmas.
There was no Christmas episode, I guess.
There's no Christmas episode.
You gotta have a vampire Christmas. Come on, man.
There better be. We got like how many seasons? Like
we got
7,
8
9?
seasons, and there better be a vampire Christmas episode. I swear to God.
I swear to God. Like, I know I'm usually not about Christmas all the time, all over and taken over with. Like, I'm seeing Christmas stuff sold in October. But
if we could have a vampire Christmas Thanksgiving dinner, I will be over the fucking moon.
If we get a vampire Christmas episode, a Vampire Diaries Christmas special, I'll be so happy.
Okay. I could imagine how trashy the fucking CW advertisers is like, deck the halls with Stefan, and he's like wearing a hat. Or like
deck the halls in blood.
Deck the halls in blood. And then like it's just a regular episode of Vampire Diaries, but they put like snowflakes over the top of it.
And there's like really weird.
And there's like there's like those big ornaments hanging on the sides. And Nina Dobrev's just like, Christmas. That's so weird. And Stefan's like, yeah. I call her fucking Nina. No, Elena.
Yeah. Yeah, Elena. Oh yeah, you you just called her by the actress's name. All right.
Things are getting very Christmassy here at the Salvatore house. And hold on. I got an idea.
And
What if
like,
we could get ChatGPT to just randomly generate a Vampire Diaries Christmas episode?
on it, on it. We'll make that like a special for when we do for when December rolls around.
Right? A Vampire Diaries Christmas episode.
Are you doing it right now?
I'm sorry. Oh my god.
Oh Jesus, it's writing a whole script.
Are you ready for a tangent?
Oh my god.
Opening scene, Salvatore boarding house, living room, night. The Salvatore boarding house is a beautiful decorated for Christmas. Twinkling lights, a large tree adorned with ornaments, a roaring fire in the fireplace. David Salvatore, Stefan Salvatore, Elena Gilbert, and the rest of the gang are gathered for a Christmas. Okay, I can't do this.
Oh, this one has Kai, who's like a late game like antagonist in mind. We can't
Why?
do that. That's spoilers,
You can't do that.
motherfucker.
Okay, we might
Oh my
actually
God.
do this for Christmas.
We might make a special. Leave a comment if you want us to do a special Christmas
AI
episode of
generated vampire Christmas episode.
Vampire Diaries Christmas. We will do it if you guys want it. You folks want this.
So Stefan's trying to comfort Elena about Jeremy and his grief, and Megafighter just sort of mentioned they stopped going to the football team. At
some point, I realized like there's no football.
No more
I don't know what
football.
brought this on, but there's no football anymore. That was like the entire basis of episode 3 was
Yeah,
was Steph enjoying the football team. It's like we haven't had. I think it's because they call it the Founders Day kickoff party that my brain realized There's not been football in a while.
they just stopped playing football after that coach died.
Yeah, was that it?
Anytime,
Is that what shuttered the
anywhere,
entire?
football's canceled.
Did they just kill the football team? This is the first time I've ever heard of a
So
fucking.
they get intimate, and then they start kissing, but like Stefan gets like aggressive, and like the vampire stuff kicks in. And then he jitters
does the
so
Edward
hard.
leap.
He jitters so hard he fucking flies backwards into a wall.
Yeah, he does the Edward leap, as I call it. It flies backwards, but unlike the Edward leap, he just like fucking slams into this wall.
He just eats wall. And,
Eats that wall.
and Elena's
All right,
like,
I'm just thinking.
"Oh no, what? Oh no."
Sorry, I'm
Damon.
still thinking about the football team being canceled. That's like the first time I've ever heard of like a sports team being shut down by a school. Usually it's the arts that's the first to go.
Yeah, because the sports team actually makes the money. So
Yeah, so God, how much this sports team suck.
this it turns out the God, what was their fucking football team name? Turns out the
Wildcats or something, or was it?
Wildcats in
I just assume it's the Wildcats because so many fucking tag teams are called the Wildcats.
So it
Or so many
turns out
fucking
the
sports teams are called-
The Mystic Falls High School football team are
The Timberwolves. There we go.
the Mystic Falls Timberwolves are fucking garbage.
They're so shit that it like the coach slash history teacher he took the history teacher job just to keep the football team alive, and then when he died they canceled
They
it.
immediately like relegated it because it just didn't matter.
They benched that shit. Yeah. God damn.
Damon shows up and he makes a little lie that like, oh, you're gonna take me to your bedroom now, huh? Because Jeremy's like eating cereal or some shit. And then he goes in and he takes her teddy bear and then just starts grabbing shit around her room. He takes her teddy bear and he's using it to like point at shit while he's giving off exposition about, oh, you don't know the real Stefan. I know the real Stefan. This Stefan, is just a phony Stefan. And the real Stefan, he's a vampire. You know that, right?
He's real. He's real. He can be real nasty and vicious.
He can be real nasty.
He's playing around with a teddy bear, pointing at stuff and waving it around. It's
He
very.
also
It's
like
just very
grabs some
strange.
of her shit and leaves.
It's like grabbing her bra, grabbing like photos off of her or mirror. I think this is around where it finally realized, oh yeah, they do have reflections in this. I forgot.
I thought they did have reflections before this. It's just
They might have, and I just forgot because they rarely bring attention to that fact, and that's
oh, that would be a bitch to
yeah,
edit.
yeah, that's true. It would be a nightmare to try and pull off the no reflection thing.
So,
So yeah,
to make this metaphor any less obvious, Stefan is seen at the Salvatore boarding house with just all the bottled spirits, and he's just like chugging booze.
he's just downing booze, and I'm just like, like real heavy handed on the vampirism equal alcoholism metaphor now.
It's just you didn't think it'd be so blunt with it.
I I don't know. I thought it was like you could like this was more of an applicable thing where it could be just about addiction in general. No, they're just making it about it's like, yeah, no, he's an alcoholic. That's the joke. Or that's the
Alcoholism.
metaphor.
Oh yeah, baby.
That's the symbolism. That is like classic Matt Buck film brain symbolism.
Yeah. Well, at
God
least I
damn.
don't have to read my scripts and talk with a downward tone. No. No.
Hey, he's British, leave him alone.
Are you saying that I don't always have to say this every time?
He's British. It's okay. He's allowed to.
British.
British.
So, Elena, under Lark Saltzman's advice, goes to talk to Jeremy. Right? I think it was under like Stefan's advice too. They both told him to talk to Jeremy.
Yeah. Like, hey, talk to Jeremy if he's getting in on this vampire stuff.
See what he knows, that kind of shit. She takes him to a random lake, and they talk about how she's adopted, and like she kind of asks a workaround question of like, "Oh, your essay about vampires is really interesting. What do you know about that?" And he's like, it was just a thing I did. I don't care.
I
Also,
don't
you're
know.
adopted."
Yeah, it's like maybe it's just the Gilbert crazies or something. It's like you're not crazy. What would you know? You're not a Gilbert or
And
something
then they
like
just
that.
shove each other, and it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
they're
okay.
playful.
Also, fucking
Ah,
Elena's wearing like all black.
yeah. Well, I mean, Vicky died, even though the funeral was probably
The
like in the
funeral was
weeks we
off
didn't see.
screen.
The funeral's off screen.
And we're at yet
Holy
another
shit.
Founders Day party, and Stefan and
Uh,
Damon are there first. And
yeah,
then
because they were invited in.
Stefan just immediately goes to Booze Town. He's going to Booze Town.
Immediately
He
getting
just starts
shit
grabbing
faced.
drinks off of fucking platters and drinking them. And he's
I
just
feel like
walking through this party. And it's just like, oh man, like, you're a teenager drinking. And just like, come on, man, I look like I'm 30. It doesn't matter.
I look like I'm 40. They don't like. I don't even need a fake ID.
I don't even
They
need a
don't think
fake
I'm a
ID. They don't
teenager.
even fucking ask. They don't even...
They just look at me and go like, "Yeah,
That's a fully grown man.
pick, it's like, yeah, pick your poison, buddy."
Pick your poison, dude. Fucking
You know,
party it up in this house.
around this time, a thought occurred to me: wouldn't alcohol be the worst thing for Stefan to be taking while
Well,
while trying to avoid the temptations of drinking blood?
alcohol thins blood out, but I heard in like some materials it makes it last longer because it's thinned out.
Sure, but he's trying not to drink blood, and he's doing the thing that completely just destroys your inhibitions.
Well, maybe he's on like a blood hangover. I don't know.
Blood hangover. Oh my god.
That's a thing, I think.
I don't think it is. I'm just saying, like, wouldn't he have less control of himself and be more prone to violently attacking people if he was drinking blood
So Elena shows up at the party, and so
or
does
drinking
Matt.
alcohol?
So does
I'm
Matt
stupid.
and her mom, and
Matt and
Tyler.
his mom.
Tyler's there because Mayor Lockwood's there, and he steals some Jack Daniels, and Matt opens and starts chugging that shit.
Tyler, your dad's gonna put you in the goddamn north and south position. What are you doing, man?
North and South position.
Like an MMA thing. I don't
Oh,
know. I don't entirely know what it means, but I've heard it. I heard the term north and south position.
I think that's like when you're on top of them, but you're facing the opposite way, or something like that.
North-south position. Oh, it's like, yeah, it's like, yeah, you're okay. I think it's this one, yeah. I think you might have been right on it.
Just describe MMA to me.
Okay, like I'm
Oh, it
trying to
looks like
describe
you're
this picture.
okay. So there's a guy in a blue gi, and he is just like trying to kiss all over this dude's tummy. And
Well,
then
the other dude is trying to
the
kiss
dude
his
in the
tummy.
white gi is on the bottom, and he's kissing his tummy too. But he's like trying to push up on him, and the other guy's
Yeah.
got him by the pant leg.
Yeah, it's a perfect position to get just kneed repeatedly in the skull.
If that's legal, I think. I don't know.
Depending on
If it's
like,
Vale Chudo rules, you don't know what shit's going down there.
yeah, depending on the rule set and the promotion, it is entirely likely you're just gonna get drilled with knees in that position.
Elena finds Stefan, and he is boozing it up, and he's drunk as fuck. And he wants Elena to dance with him, and he's just like, no one else is dancing, and it's just like, well, the music's not right. And then he goes to the DJ and compels him to play 1901 by Phoenix.
You were like, wait a minute.
I thought it was Block Party, but it wasn't Block Party because the guy started singing, and it sounds like it's a fucking car commercial, and that's what Phoenix sounds like. It looks like someone's going to sell you the 2011 Subaru Outback.
Yeah.
That's the experience I feel when I listen to 1901 by Phoenix.
And he likes Phoenix, but it's just
the all new 2011 Subaru Outback, now with 4-wheel drive and the highest rated mileage and 5-star safety tests. Michelin rated safety tests, because for some reason they do tires in restaurants, and I don't know why.
I think the restaurant thing was basically to get people to buy tires somehow.
What, are they gonna do, eat tires at the restaurant?
Like, you drive to the restaurant and you need Michelin tires.
And then
I guess.
they fill your tires full of ice cream.
I can't remember. Somebody made like that point about Michelin stars somewhere in like a video on Gordon Ramsay.
Matt asked to dance with Elena, and Damon wanders off to like flirt with Mrs. Forbes again.
Yeah,
and then like while they're chatting about like just how this is a fun party, and she's thanking Damon for all the work he's done fighting the vampires, Jeremy just shows up from the side and he's like, "Hey, Vicky died. Do you know how she died? Do you know why they found?"
Can you tell me about Vicky dying? Why was she buried?
It's just really awkward. Then, after dancing a bit with Matt, Stefan wanders back over to Elena. He's like, "Please dance with your alcoholic vampire boyfriend."
Get out of here, Matt.
Get out of here, Matt. I'm gonna fucking puke any fucking moment now.
Unless you let me dance with Elena.
And then they dance for a bit, but he like pirouettes her into another dude, and the guy's like, what's your problem, man? Like, if you can't dance, get off the fucking dance floor. And
we're
then
in this, yeah.
Stefan compels him to apologize after grabbing his coat. And then he makes him apologize again because it was kind of sarcastic sounding. And Elena's like, all right, you got to lay off. You're acting a little weird, dude.
Meanwhile, a Katy Perry song that's based on Your Love by the Outfield is playing, and it's very jarring.
It's very jarring.
It was not what I was expecting. It's following like 2 songs after Phoenix, and then just as the scene transition, like scene cut, and now it's Paramore, and it's like, what the fuck?
Damon's doing impressions of Jeremy with Elena. He's like, oh, do you know anything about Mrs. Forbes, huh?
You remember Vicky?
Like if I was distracted by Paramore playing. And Tyler talks to Matt's mom.
Like, what?
And it gets weirdly flirty because she starts like touching him.
Mrs. Donovan, that's a teenager.
Yeah, that was weird.
Also fucking weird now that I think about it. Tyler dated her daughter.
Yeah, that is weird.
Is fucked. This is fucked.
I don't like Tyler.
I don't like Kelly. I'm I mean,
Tyler
Tyler's
attempts
boring.
to be like sincere with this with fucking Matt's mom, and it's just like it doesn't come off as sincere. It just sort of comes off as bored.
Yeah. I don't like either of these two. Tyler's a fucking shit
Jeff
character.
Jeff meets Damon at the balcony, and they kind of talk for a bit, and then he's like, "I know you're a fucking vampire, by the way." And then Damon's like, "You know I could kill you, right?"
Just
Like
call him Jeff.
Jeff, Uncle
his
Jeff.
name's his name's John.
Is his name John?
His name is John.
I wrote
Called him that
Jeff.
earlier.
I wrote Jeff the entire time.
Wait, have you been calling him Jeff this whole time?
Yes,
His name is John.
I am. I would like to apologize.
Point of order. His name is John Gilbert.
I would like to apologize to the audience of These Hot Idiots because apparently Uncle John is named Uncle John and not Jeff, and I just started calling him Jeff for some reason.
I didn't even notice until now. It's like, have you been calling him Jeff this whole time?
John talks to Damon, and he knows that Damon's a vampire, and Damon threatens him, and they kind of laugh it off. And then as Paramore's playing, and he walks away, and Haley Williams is going, oh, and just Damon just runs back as fast as he can, breaks his neck, and breaks his neck, and throws him off the balcony.
We were like, we knew. I wrote his name as Uncle New Character Gonna Die. I didn't expect it was gonna be
When
like.
I first saw him, I was just like, oh, he's gonna die instantly.
You did not think it was gonna be this immediate.
We started laughing so fucking hard.
Because it's like the Paramore is still playing as this. It's even crazier because Paramore is playing in one ear, and then in the other ear is like the actual like score where there's like ominous piano playing for every scene with them talking. Yes. Sorry, but it's just like, and it's like that. It's like, what's going on? What is happening with my ears?
It
Fucking me up.
just was really confusing. So Jeremy confronts Elena over what happened with Vicky, and he kind of gets the idea that Elena's hiding something because she slips up, and she says, whatever happened to Vicky, we got to move on from that because she's dead now. And he's like, but she OD, she OD'd, and it's like, ah, shit.
Oh no. Whatever happened? So there was something other than the OD. Yeah, that's. Damn it.
Matt is going to
Elena.
step out with Elena for a bit because he needs some air, and Stefan's just vibing the whole time in the background.
Getting boozed up.
He comes out, and Tyler and Matt's mom are kissing. I almost say it's like Tyler and Kelly are kissing, not Tyler and Matt.
Tyler and Matt making out would make more sense.
And Matt just shows up and clocks him, and then Tyler gets up and like his mom gets thrown through a fucking table.
And he's just on top of him, on top of Matt, raining blows.
And a Lark Saltzman comes in to break it up, and so does Mayor Lockwood, who tells everyone to take off their shirts.
It's like, all right, you got the TKO, Tyler, you did it. Good job, but next time you gotta make sure to take off your shirt.
You gotta take off your shirt, or else they're not gonna award you points.
Dad, what?
What the fuck?
Not weird.
Stop looking at me like this is weird, son.
Stop looking at me like this is weird. It's not.
This is in your best interest. Now take off your shirt.
Not weird.
Matt is like sitting at a chair, and the blood on him is the fakest fucking blood I've ever seen.
I was busy just noting how so much fucking happened in just a second here. We're like, Kelly Donovan's making out with a teenage boy, and then fucking fight breaks out. Just Tyler wailing on Matt, and it's like, what the fuck? Whoa!
You just look away, and we're doing something else, and it's like, what the fuck?
Right? It's like, what the hell? When did this start happening?
So Matt's covered in fake blood, and so is fucking Matt's mom. She's got this big fake cut on her head.
She's got a cut on her forehead where it's like a line and then a drip, and me and Ashe are wrestling fans, so we look at this and start laughing because it looks like
a bad gig job.
Yeah, so there's a practice for those of you who don't follow wrestling, which is called blading, where it's like you
So
take just like this little bit of razor blade,
if you ever
like a little cut off
see
razor blade.
someone bleeding in wrestling, it's real. Usually
It's real.
in their wristband, in their trunks. Sometimes they'll keep it in their mouth, but there's a tiny razor blade, and when the camera's not looking, you take a tiny cut on the top of your head, and it
Like
mixes with the sweat, and you just start looking like you just got a crimson mask of blood
it,
coming
it's
down your
like
face.
it's
Coming
like
down your
basically they
face.
cut a tiny piece of the razor blade and then you just kind of cut along the lines of your forehead. And that's what it looks like they did to the actress. And it's like it's fucking
Well,
gigged.
and then they like switch it with a prosthetic, and it just looks really bad.
Yeah. It's so bad. It's so stupid. Uh
Damon just sort of finds a drunk, like a drunk half awake Stefan, and he's just like, "Do you want to hear the bad news or the worst news?" And Stefan's like, "I don't want to fucking talk to you right now. I'm busy."
I don't want news, I want booze.
And he's like, "I killed Elena's uncle.
What?
I killed Jeff,
John!
John. I killed
Jeff,
John and his
Jeff is my
hairline."
dad who is in the other room sleeping. What are you talking about?
And Stefan's like, what the fuck?"
I killed John Gilbert. What?
Then he kind of like follows for a bit, and then he smells blood and crying, and he finds like Matt's mom, and she's like sitting in her chair with her fake ass head wound, and she's crying.
Fake ass gig.
And Stefan's like, "Are you okay?" And then he just sort of stares at her while she's bleeding, and he's like, "Can I finger your head hole?"
Your forehead,
Yeah, can I figure like your weird forehead hole?
your forehead wound.
And she's like, "What are you doing?" And Stefan's like, "I don't know." I don't.
He's like smearing it around her forehead because in a weird way
Simba.
to like Simba. Exactly. Like that. And then he's like, I'm sorry,
I'm gonna go now. And then
now he's got
he wanders into the yard, and then he like looks at his hand, and it's covered in blood. And then he looks again, and he's like,
got 2 fingers covered in blood.
"I'm gonna lick my finger." Yeah.
He's licking off the blood, and it's like he's so tempted. Like you think he would have tried to eat her there.
Can I clean
Got a lot more
Can I lick your
restraint.
forehead? Can I
Yeah,
lick your
that
forehead?
would make it real weird. It'd be funny.
It's okay. Oh, we'll disinfect it. I want to lick your forehead. Don't ask why.
we. What's next? I can't.
The mayor brings a giant bell and tells John to, I legit wrote Jeff, and tells John to do a speech like commemorating the founders, while
Yeah, the favorite son is back or something, and it's like
John
it's
eyeballs
Gilbert.
Damon in the crowd the whole time.
Yeah, John's alive, and this
John's
fucking,
alive,
like,
and Damon's like, "What the fuck? What the fuck?"
I wrote that down. I was like, what the fuck? He's back. And it's like it's eventually it's like he's wearing one of the rings that like Alaric Saltzman has that keeps him from being killed by vampires, including getting your neck snapped by a vampire.
And then thrown
That's
off a
how
balcony by a vampire.
Yeah, if you get thrown off, if you get defenestrated by a vampire, but you wear this ring,
You'll come back
no
to
glass
life.
will hurt you.
Duh, stupid.
Stupid.
Don't you know how this works?
Fucking these rings.
These rings are stupid.
Dumb.
So
If you get shot by a vampire, that bullet won't hurt at all.
Damon crosses the room
you
to
got the
Alaric
ring.
Saltzman, and he just sort of like talks about like, John Gilbert, brother of fucking Graydon Gilbert,
Dr. Grayson Gilbert.
Grayson
Graydon
Gilbert.
Graydon Gilbert is the guy on the Vampire Diaries version of Hive Mind.
Vampire Hive Mind.
Vampire Hive Mind.
So Grayson, like brother of Grayson Gilbert, the one who made the Gilbert rings, and it's like why are you acting like you knew that already?
And fucked your wife and
fucked your wife
and gave birth to Elena.
Isabel, the your wife that I fucked and then turned into a vampire. And he's
Wait,
like,
was Isabel? Oh shit! Wait, wait. I think he just delivered her kid. That's what it was.
so
I'm
like,
stupid.
well, I'm just trying to say it's really weird that like Damon's lecturing Alaric Saltzman about the Gilberts when he already knew about the fucking Gilberts.
You think he'd know? You think he would have known this
And you
shit?
think that he would have checked for the fucking ring before breaking John Gilbert's neck and throwing him off a balcony.
You think? You think he would have seen the ring and been like, "Huh? What's that?
What's that, huh?
That looks familiar."
But that's just really weird writing, honestly.
That is very weird writing. This episode is weird.
Stefan runs into the guy he ran Elena into and compelled, and he's like, "Oh, you got no woman now with you, huh? Well, huh." And then he throws a punch, and Stefan catches it and breaks his hand. And he's like,
Sure.
"What are you?" And Stefan's making a face. Jeremy comes home and he's feeling all weird. So he just starts digging through Elena's room and finds the Vampire Diaries.
They're back.
They're back. It was behind a painting of a horse.
Of course it was.
Of course it was.
Of course it was.
A horse it was. Of course it was. And he starts reading her Vampire Diaries TM.
It was behind the painting of a horse, of course, of course.
Ah, yes. Mr. Ed, I knew it. So he's like, he's having this big revelation. And when Elena leaves the party, she sees Stefan over the guy and he runs off. But the guy's alive. He just got his shit punched in.
He just got his arm broke.
And then compelled that he's a little dumb baby and he fell.
And fell over, yeah.
Tyler's dad pulls Tyler aside and he's just like, "That you need to stop making our family look bad." And he's just like, "It's okay, Dad. I'm sorry. I was drunk and emotional." And it's like, "Next time you take your shirt off."
Put him in a guillotine, goddamn. You put him in a guillotine choke, goddamn it.
None of this fucking pussy shit about like punching. No, we do submission holds in this family. No.
He just smacks him. He backhands him, if I recall, actually.
Yes.
Oh my god.
In front of everyone else, weirdly, but yeah.
Yeah, actively beat your son in front of people.
Matt is getting his mom's
messy
shit
there.
and packing it up, and he's gonna throw her out of the fucking house. And she's like crying, she's like, "You can't do this. No, I can change. Like, get out, Mom. You suck.
I'm done.
Stop kissing teenagers. It's weird.
It's weird.
It's weird, and you need to go."
This is supposed to be a pretty, like, sad little moment here, and, like...
She sucks. She needs to go to rehab.
She sucks. She needs to go to rehab. This is a win for Team Matt.
Matt's
not having any more of this abuse.
Team Matt is not having any more of this shit. He's had enough of this in his fucking life. He wants, like...
He's done.
He's done.
Like, she can fuck up her own life on her own terms. He's had enough.
As the party's, like, clearing up, John confronts Alaric Saltzman and Damon. And he just, like, lists off the plot... like about the tomb and the vampires and Damon Salvatore and Stefan Salvatore and the fucking and Catherine and then Damon asks him, "And how do you know all these things?" And then John goes, "How do I know?" He goes, "How do I know anything, Damon?"
How do I know anything, Damon is? It's such a great line.
It's such a great line out of context because it's just like, you're just reading the script.
That's just you reading the script at that point, yeah.
And I think it's implied that, like, he's a vampire hunter, but he also works for Isabel, maybe?
Yeah.
I think?
Maybe.
And then he just leaves.
Yep, he's just gone.
And that was weird. John just read the script. Jeremy's sitting in a gloom corner when Elena comes back, but he doesn't confront her. And Elena heads to her bedroom. And then Stefan's in the mirror. He's there. And
Stefan jump scare.
Stefan jump scare. That's rare.
Very rare is to get a Stefan
and he's
jump
like
scare.
pale. And he's like about to break down. And he's just like, "I'm sorry, Elena. I drank human blood, and now I'm freaking the fuck out, and I'm losing control of myself, and I want to be honest with you, so I'm telling you this, and oh my god, I don't know what to do. And Elena's like, I'm here for you, Stefan. Don't worry, I'll support you. And she gives him a hug and squishes his face in her shoulder. He gets like a squishy face. Like,
His face gets so squished up against her arms. It takes me out of the moment because it's like, oh my god, he's so squished, so squish.
Then he
Squishy
goes back
Stefan.
to the Salvatore board house, and Damon's just chilling there, and Stefan just is like in a weird like glare.
He's in a haze.
He's in a haze and he's pale, and just Damon's like, ah, shit. Well, good night.
Leaves a half-drank glass of blood.
Have some blood if you want it, haha. And then he just like looks at it, and then he drinks it. And then
in
the
my
episode
head, I
ends.
wanted it to be, yeah, that's the end of the episode. But in my head, I was like, it just turns out it's just like a glass of like cranberry juice with like a lot
Got
of
you
pulp.
it's ocean spray, baby.
Super pulp ocean spray.
How do you like that pomegranate juice?
Oh man, pomegranate. That actually doesn't sound too bad.
No more pomegranate.
No.
No.
Pomegranates.
This episode was weird.
This was a weird episode. I don't know what got accomplished here besides, oh yeah, John showed up. And
John showed up and then he left.
he knows the plot and he died, but
I
came
have
back
no idea
then,
where the season, we're approaching the season finale, and I have no idea where we're going.
We're like, what, 5 episodes left or 3,
Yeah, but there's
4?
not an end game.
My God, it's, yeah.
Like,
The fucking
Stefan's off the wagon, and Jeff is there. John, not Jeff. He's not Jeff.
John, how
John,
do you get an even less generic name out of his current generic name?
I'm sorry. I just thought his name was Jeff.
Why did you think his name was Jeff?
Hold on.
Oh my God.
Hold on. I got to go through my notes. John Gilbert. John talks about Jeremy. John doesn't want them to something. John. Jeff.
It's like halfway through, you've completely decided, despite your actual notes, that his name is Jeff now.
His name is Jeff now. God, what the fuck is happening to me?
My God, that cold really fucked up your head.
I don't know what's going on, guys. I'm sorry. I think I'm having like a conniption or something.
It's having a stroke.
I'm having a vampire stroke. The vampire stroke. The
Vampire
original
stroke.
Oh, the songs are "You and I" by Black Mustang. Yeah! Exclamation point by the Golden Dogs. 1901 by Phoenix. They were in Gran Turismo. I remember that. White Knight by the Pastels.
Black Mustang, I think, was in the last episode, too.
I think so.
Yeah.
Use Your Love by Katy Perry, which is a cover.
Yeah, it's a cover of Your Love by The Outfield.
Yeah. I mean, I like the Outfield more, but yeah.
Yeah.
Brick by Boring Brick by Paramore. I'm a big Paramore fan, so hey.
Yeah.
Hey Hey Girl by The Virgins.
I feel like was they not here before? I feel like they were.
What do you mean you're moving on by The Airborne Toxic Event?
No. Does this mean you're moving on by the Airborne Toxic Event?
Oh shit, sorry.
Also another band I think we've heard before.
To Be Your Lost.jpg by The Morning After Girl.
Okay, To Be Your Lost by The Morning After Girl. So a lot we don't recognize, but more songs or more like bands we recognize this time. Or
yeah, it's a lot of indie rock.
And then like a Katy Perry song.
Like apparently that stuffy ass DJ that Stefan compelled had some fucking indie rock in there.
Yeah.
Let us know if you want to read AI generated Vampire Diaries fan fiction.
We will gladly do it.
We will gladly do it. And if you can think of a prompt, we'll do that too. Make it as stupid as you want, like Damon buying a copy of Cool Borders 3 for the PlayStation.
Yes. Well, if you guys have a prompt for this, we'll do it. We'll try to make sure that we
will do it as Vampire Theater as an ending segment.
Yeah.
This is stupid scenarios that it comes up with, and then it'll just bring up characters that haven't been introduced yet. And it's like, who the fuck's that guy? So, well, you can find us on pretty much anywhere you can get a podcast. We're on YouTube
Find
as
us on
well.
YouTube.
These Hot Idiots. Pretty much anywhere that you can find us.
You can find our Tumblrs, Mega Fighter Free for Free and Ashe Nightshade.
I've been forgetting to post advertisement for it, but I haven't seen you been posting advertisements for it either.
No, I'm just ranting about Doctor Who Love and Monsters being a completely underrated episode that people were just not ready for.
I don't remember anything about Love and Monsters.
It was the one with the Absorbaloff, with the big fat green alien that was made by a kid who won a contest. And it's an episode that pretty much said that obsessive and parasocial fandom is bad. And I guess in 2009, 2010, people were just
did people just not like that?
People were not wanting to hear about just a character. They really didn't like the fact that the villain was a caricature of obsessive fandom.
And then Sherlock happened.
Then Sherlock happened, and it's like, shit.
Stephen Moffat, not my favorite writer, but he was on point sometimes. Just sometimes.
Well, I think it was more like Russell T Davies was the one who wrote.
Was it Russell T Davies? I thought Moffat was I thought Moffat was still on board.
For Doctor Who, but he didn't write Love and Monsters.
Oh, okay. I thought he was still on board. That's all.
I think he was. I think he was about to take over. But Russell T Davies at least knew to balance it with the idea of fandom as being you like the thing, but you don't make it your entire life.
God, fucking Doctor Who is just full of so many weird, forced metaphors, if you think about it.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, this alien is the criticism of the occupancy of America during the Vietnam War. And it's like, that's weirdly specific, but okay. I guess you'll try and sci-fi that. All right.
Good luck with that.
This is a criticism of the British prison system in 1975, and it's like, right, okay. This one's Brexit. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week, as long as nothing comes up.
Yeah. Here's hoping.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, I guess.
Is it this? Yeah.
Closer to Halloween. Merry
Christmas. It's Christmas. Yeah.
Happy Halloween if we don't have anything ready for Halloween.
Happy Hanukkah. I'm tired.
Yeah.